Hello and welcome to another episode of WopeCar Talks, sponsored by WopeCar, which gives you freedom to go places. My name is Nhyira Ribeiro, and today I'll be having a conversation about mental health with someone I can't wait for you to meet. Do stay tuned. So today my guest is a mental health advocate, and she will start by introducing herself and telling us why she thinks she's in the car with me today, heading somewhere special.
Okay, hi. I'm Nhyira Addo. I'm a psychologist assistant. I work with the Mental Health Authority, and I'm here today to have a conversation and talk about mental health, why I'm in it, and any other thing that comes up. Yeah.
All right. So before Inshura, the mental health advocate, what was growing up like?
Um, Growing up was nice, should I say? Um, I attended so I lived in Dansaman like all my life. Yes, majority like part of my life I was in Dansaman. And growing up, I liked to talk for people, help people. I hated to see that people didn't have a voice. They can't speak for themselves. They can't express themselves because of probably something they were going through or something somebody else was doing to them. So growing up, I remember I used to be so angry about certain things that don't even concern me, about people. I can be so pissed and I'm ranting like all over the place and all of that. So growing up, it's just been like that for me. And I knew from then that I would always want to help people, to speak for people, to, help people come out from a place they didn't like and be able to enjoy their lives. Yeah.
Hmm. So would you say that's what drew you to the world of mental health? Because now mental health has become more, for want of a better word, trendy. People are
Yeah.
more open to talk about
Yeah.
it. Is the sense of I want to help people what led you to say, okay, mental health may be something I should take interest in?
You know, the funny thing is, growing up, I never imagined, I never thought this part of my life never came up when I was a
Hmm.
little. I wanted to do law. So I wanted to do human rights law and help people in that aspect. So, like women and children. That was the idea growing up. So, helping people in that sense. Psychology, mental health never came into the picture. So, it was law growing up, not really mental health. Yeah.
Right, right. From the part of law, you've
Yeah.
gone into the world of mental health,
Yeah.
which is still in line with helping people. So
Yeah. Exactly.
that's fair. That's fair. Most people are passionate about mental health. Like I said, today, if you go online, you see a lot of people talking about mental well-being. A lot of corporations are talking about it now. Like I said, it's become a lot more trendy.
Yeah.
So for anyone who's curious about mental health, apart from what they see on TikTok,
Yeah.
how can someone enter this field?
Um, I think first things first, you'd have to educate yourself and be more abreast about what exactly mental health is. So it's a whole like course, it's a whole study. So I studied psychology
Mm.
in university. So that's where it started from. So first and foremost, educate yourself. Start small, read resources. There are so many things online you can read to know more about what exactly mental health is, how to help people, how to be that listening ear for somebody, how to be able to make sure that you can notice people that are having challenges with their mental well-being, their mental health. So the first thing is to educate yourself more. Then again, there are programs that's happening most of the times in the year concerning mental health, so many aspects of mental health. And again, you can attend these events to be able to also gain more knowledge and insights on what exactly you can do to help somebody, what exactly you can do in that field, anything. And there are also professors, there are professionals around, there are people that you can go to mentor you in that field. And then there are also institutions and organizations that take volunteers, internships, attachments, all those things. So yeah, those steps you can take those steps to get into mental health. Yeah.
Right. So beyond what you do for your 9 to 5,
Yeah.
we also know that you've created an Instagram page for mental health awareness. What inspired you to do that? And when people come to your page, what are you hoping that they'll take away from that?
Okay, so the Instagram page, yeah. I created content for where I work, the authority, we adopted the month of May as Mental Health Awareness Month. So we dubbed it Purple Month. So every May is Purple Month.
That's my favorite color, by the way.
Oh, just saying. So yeah, so May is Purple Month, Mental Health Awareness Month, and I shot some content for the month of May, and I posted it. And my friend Erika, hi Erika, she saw it and she contacted me and she's like, oh, let's do this. I think if we do this, it's going to be great. And we spoke about it and all of that. And then that came up. And then we created the Instagram page. And then the whole aim is to make sure that when someone goes on there, the person can pick up a thing or two about what mental health is, what they can do to help, and that they can also read something and know that they are not alone. If anybody is going through anything at all, the person can read something and have a little bit of assurance, have that awareness that they are not alone going through whatever it is they're going through, and that it's okay to talk and it's okay to open up. These things are things I want people to go on there, see, and then pick up and have that assurance that they are not alone. Yeah.
All right. So I see that you've spoken on panels, spoken at conferences on mental health.
Yeah.
And my question is, given how initially stigmatized the topic was, what was your experience like when you first started speaking about mental health? How did people take it in your circle, beyond your circle? How was that experience?
So my first experience was in a high school, a vocational institute in the Eastern region. I spoke with teens, okay, that were in high school. And when I started talking, I realized how the page brought attention to what I was saying, the interest on their faces, they wanting to know more about what exactly I was talking about. I could tell that these are people some were going through certain things, real things I was talking about, but they probably haven't spoken to anybody about it because of how people will take it. Probably people that are going through a lot that you don't really know exactly what it is or how you're feeling. You can't explain how you're feeling and everything, and they are hearing these things for the first time, and I could see the interest on their faces and their eyes opening to the things or the realities of what I was talking about, and the experience was good. It was really good, and I was glad to see that interest in their faces and also among them, and I could tell that at least it's picking up bit by bit. Yeah.
So, as a young person who is in such a complicated field, have you ever had to deal with people downplaying your expertise or your competence simply because they think, "Oh, look at this small girl"?
Yeah.
What has that been like, and how have you navigated that?
Okay, I think for me, I've been a little lucky because the the top dogs, let me put it that way, or the people at the top that gave me that opportunity and the platform to grow and learn in the space, they didn't underestimate me. So it was kind of easier because the most important people that mattered to me and also to my field and what I was doing believed that I could do it and put me on that pedestal. It's, not to say those that don't really matter, but those that can give me that kind of opportunities that my big bosses were giving me. They used to feel like that, but it didn't really bother me too much because in the end, the people that I need for them to believe in me were doing exactly that. So it was kind of easy navigating that aspect of my life in the field, yeah, and it was fine. Yeah.
So, I know that mental health is not something that Ghana has fully embraced. what are some of the challenges you face in advocating for people's mental well-being, even in your line of work? Because I know there are superstitions, there are, all sorts of, we don't talk about this thing here, there's nothing wrong with you, go and sleep, that kind of thing. How have you navigated that? I mean, just beyond your personal experience, as someone who is advocating for something that is not our culture, how do you handle that?
So we've had like quite some challenges. Some people still can't seem to fully embrace it. The challenge is you're trying to enter like a space to let them know that this is it, this is mental health, and someone can actually ask you to can tell you to like get out because everyone here is fine. We don't need these things and all your things that people are and all of those things. No, everybody is fine. And all of that is one of like the biggest challenges. And trying to navigate it is me trying to like always explain to people that it's not mad people per se. It is not the unkept people that you see on the streets that have mental health issues or conditions or challenges. It is really beyond that. So it's been quite like a challenge, but talking to people small bits by bit, explaining to them, it takes like a whole lot. So it takes a whole lot of time, but small talking to them, trying to explain to them, opening their eyes to see that it's not just that, and also using their everyday life to also get them to understand that this is it. This is mental health. All what we are saying, this is it. Not just the unkept people we see on the streets. Yeah. So basically, that's how I try to navigate. I try to like talk to them, bit by bit, letting them understand that it's not just the unkept people they see around or people they term mad that have the mental health issues or conditions. Yeah.
Right. What's a typical week like for you? Are you counseling someone in the morning, giving someone medication in the afternoon? What's a typical week like?
So a typical week for me is not too busy. Well, some months can be extremely busy, like really intense. So the beginning of the year can be very intense, but then some parts of the year very cool. So I'm not always talking to people. Sometimes administrative tasks, sometimes events you need to attend and show up for, sometimes reports you need to write, sometimes letters to organizations. So sometimes they are intense, but then I try to delegate some of them, get my colleagues on board to help out so that everything can be done fine, so that every part can be taken care of and all of that. But yeah, the intense times in the year also come in where you don't even have time to breathe and everything, chasing events, chasing clients, talking to people and all of that. Yeah, but typically it's not so intense. It's okay. Yeah.
Is there a why for everything you're doing? You're advocating for mental wellness, you're doing content creation, you're 9 to 5. I'm sure there are other things we don't even know about that you're juggling. Is there something that makes you think this is why I chose to be an advocate for mental health?
Yeah, I think my why has always been to help people. That's been the fundamental thing, even when it wasn't mental health in the beginning, even when it wasn't mental health and it was low, it was always to help somebody. And every single day, I wake up and choose to do this again because I see how much people need it. And after every single time you talk to somebody, the person calls back or texts back and then says, "Thank you for this. I needed somebody to listen. I needed somebody to talk to, and thank you for being there." That is really my why to of doing what I'm doing, of always waking up and then going to work and then being there for people, basically. Yeah.
All right. So for people who are listening to our conversation today, who probably have some mental health challenges or they have questions about mental health and they don't know where to go, because while it is cool these days to say I spoke to my therapist, some people think someone will laugh at me. Where should they start? How can they get help?
Okay, so first and foremost, there's a hotline the authority has. Okay, 0800 678 678 0800 678 678. For those
0800 678 678.
yeah.
That's
So for
we'll
those
keep
that are
this in mind.
still yes, please do. For those that are still trying to navigate going in person to see somebody, or having to walk up to somebody or a therapist or a psychologist to talk to somebody, you can just give us a call. We'll do that for you over the phone. And after some time, when we've had like talks with you and get better, the confidence comes such that you can walk to a therapist or a psychologist and then speak to them. I mean, the stigma is still there, but then we can all access the fact that it's way better than it used to be, and it can be better than it is now. So yes, if you still don't have the confidence to walk up to a psychologist or therapist, you can just give us a call and we'll talk to you. So you can just start from there. For those who don't know where to go, don't know what's even wrong with them, are having troubles navigating their feelings, their emotions, their thoughts, and how they even react to things, whatever it is, you don't know where to start from, just give us a call. We can begin from there, and then we can just pick up from whatever it is you let us know if that's wrong with you.
So I have definitely walked away from this conversation with something.
Yeah.
At least now I know the number 0800 678 678. I didn't even know that it existed. So if I met someone who needed help, I would not know where to start from. So that's definitely insightful. So my last question for you is, this is your manifesto.
Yeah.
If you had your own way, what would you want the future for mental health awareness and the facilities, the resources for the people in Ghana? What would you want that to look like?
I'd like it to be one of the most beautiful things people would have to experience when they are going through something, because I mean, people go through a lot of things they can't talk about. So many struggles are weighing so heavy on people, and they're working around and then they are still functioning. Personally, I'd like this field to grow, to be better, for the stigma to reduce to the barest minimum, for people and organizations to come to the aid of persons in our hospitals and institutions that need help, because it's intensive. It's intensive care for some people, depending on whatever condition they have. Personally, I'd like us to also have a place where someone can just be so overwhelmed, the person can just walk, go and sit, take like a really deep breath, relax for some time, and then get up, walk up, and then go about like their duties and everything, where somebody can just come to sit for a moment, feel refreshed, and then go about like their daily activities. Because I mean, every day we wake up and then everything is like, you get up, you're doing this, you get up, you're doing that. Everything is like just moving, pa, 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 pa. You really don't get that time to take a deep breath, to relax, to take a moment of what it is you are feeling and all the stresses that have come up in your day. You get it. So personally, that's what I'd like the future of mental health to be like. And also for organizations, for NGOs, for people to also take keen interest in the field of mental health. You can always support. Okay, it is, like I said earlier, it's intense. People need help. Don't forget it when you are doing like your donations and all of that. Come to the aid of people that are struggling with how to navigate so many things that they are going through. That is what I'd like the future of it to be. Yeah.
Okay. It has been a pleasure talking to you. I'm definitely walking away with this, at least with the hotline in my head. Hopefully this is another step closer to demystifying how we can access mental health resources here in Ghana. I will see you again, hopefully, and see you in the next episode. Bye.